Dear respected Thầy, dear respected brother and sister, this is the last Dharma talk for me for the year 2022. Since the beginning of 2022 until now, almost every week, I and Sister Samgim have courses non-stop, either here in EIAB or outside, to different places. And next year, in February, supposedly we will have usually 10 days or 14 days of lazy day. But in February. But the Sangha in Sweden have been asking, the Sangha in Stockholm, asking me and Sister Samgin to lead a retreat there for the last 4 or 5 years. So we cannot say no anymore. But our schedule, we don't have any more day because the whole year was filling up. So finally I said, I will have the retreat during my lazy day in February for Stockholm Sangha. The world in 2022 has gone through so much difficulty. We had problem in the politic area, economic area, in the human, health area. So many difficulty. And sometimes we have the feeling of being hopeless. We don't know that whether we can go through all of these difficulty. And it's so difficult to face all of the event that's going on right now in the world. There are people who are afraid of even a nuclear war that might happen, if things become worse, things getting worse, we can even have a nuclear war and everything will be terrible on earth. And during the last week or so, I've been thinking about this Dharma talk. I asked myself, what would be the practice? What can we do in order to face all of these difficulties that are going on right now in the world? We've been listening to Sister Samgim, Thầy Pháp Xá, Thầy Trần Ngộ Không, presenting different aspects of the Dharma. And yesterday, Sister Samgim shared a model from a friend, a man whose name is Michael Tissinger. And she said that when we were young, we have a core of love as a baby. That is the model proposed by Michael Tissinger. So this is a love. That is the first core. And the second layer of the trunk of the tree is the wounded, the layer of wounded, being wounded, the wounded. And then the third layer is the layer of fear. The layer of fear. And outside, we put on a mask. A mask. And that is a model that Mr. Tishinger proposed for us to look into. And the question now is, how can we come back to this core of love within us? This morning we practice aspiration for the new year. New Year aspiration. We write down some commitment or some determination, what we would like to do for this coming new year. And many times, looking back, and we see that we have not achieved much, the New Year's resolution that we make at the beginning of the year. In Buddhism, it's not our intention, it is not our wish that we can fulfill things, but it is our practice. Our practice is something that makes things become, to manifest. Without the practice, it won't manifest. For example, we might know the benefit of meditation, the benefit of mindfulness. But unless we sit down and we actually practice it, we live it, we embody it, we will not get so much benefit from it. So there is this parable. There's this man who is very sick, and the doctor came and he said, well, to treat your sickness, you need to buy the ostrich, chim trĩ, phải ostrich, chim trĩ, ostrich, a cat bird, I think, ostrich. You need to buy the ostrich, and you need to eat the ostrich in order to cure yourself. And this man, he said, yes, good. And he come back, every day he recite the name ostrich. He come in and out and he said, ostrich, ostrich. Sometime later, the doctor came by, visit, and see that his sickness is still there. And the doctor said, I told you that you should eat or you should use the ostrich for your illness. And he said, well, I recite the name ostrich. And then the doctor said, no, you need to go out to the market and you buy this kind of bird. So he draw a kind of bird on the paper for this man. I don't know, there's some artist in the room that can help me. I'm not a good artist, so that's kind of bird of ostrich. So he draw this ostrich to the man, and the man very happy, yes, I'm going to eat this ostrich. And then he will, after the doctor left, he asked people to draw ostrich, and he himself draw ostrich, and he cut the paper. And he eat this paper ostrich. And again, a few months later, the doctor came by, and the man is still sick. He said, what happened to you? I told you that you should eat the ostrich. He said, yes, I did. I draw the ostrich, I cut, and I eat it. Our compassion, the doctor go to the market, he buy the ostrich, he cook the ostrich, and he give it to the man. He said, here, please eat this. So the medicine can really go into his body, to the man's sickness. The idea is like, we need to somehow embody the teaching, to make the teaching a part of ourselves. If we want to be peace, then there's no way to peace. Peace is the way. That means we have to live a peaceful life. We have to embody it in every action, every activity of our daily life. The way we talk has to be peaceful. The way we listen has to be peaceful. The way we eat, the way we consume things, the way we interact with other people has to be peaceful. There's no way to peace. Peace is the way. There is no way to cure our sickness. To cure our sickness, to be the medicine that cure our sickness is the way. We take the medicine, we swallow it, so that medicine become a part of ourselves. So that is the thinking of Buddhist way of thinking. And this way of thinking, this practice is called bhavana. 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 Bhavana later on is translated into meditation. Meditation. Meditation in the Western language. But bhavana is really cultivation. Bhavana in the language of Buddhism is to make something that is not there to manifest. For example, like you see a rice field. At the beginning of the year, the rice plant was not there. But then you turn the earth, you put in the seed of the rice into the field, and you water it, and then after some time, thanks to the whole universe, the rice plant comes. It's a cultivation. So, the same thing with us. If we would like to make something to happen, we need to cultivate it. There is the seed of wisdom within us. There is the seed of love. There is the seed of compassion, of understanding. There are all kinds of seeds within us. And our mind is like the earth. And we can sow any seed that we would like to. So today, when we write an aspiration, a New Year resolution, or a New Year aspiration, we are sowing the seed. This is my intention. This is my wish. I sow that seed. But then that seed needs to be cultivated, needs to practice for it to manifest. And that is the meaning of bhavana, meditation. So, what is bhavana and meditation exactly? Bhavana, meditation, or meditation is a process in which we sow the seed in our mind. So there's a seed. Perhaps that is the seed of love, or the seed of understanding, or acceptance, or whatever it is. Then we need to keep this seed as an object of our mind all the time. It's called the object of meditation. So for example, we would like to work on love or tolerance, for example. Tolerance or acceptance. Then what happened is day and night, we should keep this into our mind. This seed of love or this seed of tolerance or acceptance, we keep it in our mind. It becomes an object of our awareness all the time. And that's called meditation. Meditation means that we have an object of meditation. And we keep our mind focused on that object all the time. All the time. For example, we would like to be peace, to be peaceful. And we said that there's no way to peace. Peace is the way. What does it mean exactly? It means that you keep the intention to be peaceful in your consciousness, in your awareness, and you keep that throughout the day, all day long. Whatever you do, you are focused on this love. You focus on this acceptance or tolerance. It is an object of the meditation. Then, slowly and slowly, this object of meditation will sink down into our being. At the beginning, love is only a concept. Love is only an idea. Love is only a notion. But then when we hold it for long enough, this notion, this idea sink into our being and it becomes a part of our being. And that is called bhavana, meditation. And this is the technique the Buddha discovered. Before that, the Buddha looked for enlightenment and he was taught different type of meditation. And he was taught the meditation called nothingness. Nothingness. So we have an idea that the whole universe is nothing, completely nothing. And we focus on this idea, nothingness. Then what happened was that after some time, we feel that the whole world is nothingness. Our mind had the capacity to shift. Our consciousness have the capacity to shift and to be absorbed into this notion, into this idea. So our mind is shift, the consciousness is shift, and we actually experience nothingness. And then later on, the Buddha said, oh, this meditation is not very useful for his happiness and joy. Then he go to the another teacher. The other teacher teach a meditation called neither perception nor non-perception. That is a kind of meditation like between the boundary of being inanimate and being animate. Animate, you have perception. Inanimate, you do not have perception. So it is at this boundary. So it is only an idea and you focus on it. Then actually you reach it. The Buddha thought, oh, it was not very useful. Then he left. The teacher, these two teachers, then he tried different technique. And then later on, he was about to die. And then he recalled an experience when he was a little boy, around 9 or 10 years old. He was sitting underneath the rose apple tree in a very beautiful morning in the spring. And he just in that moment, he just come back to himself, being totally relaxed. Totally relaxed. and it reached a deep sense of joy and happiness within him. A sense of being fulfilled, satisfied. Then it clicked. The Buddha said, this is the way to enlightenment. Thanks to his knowledge of the technique with the other teacher, focus on an idea and turn that idea into a reality. What the Buddha's contribution is that it is the focusedness on a particular object, but what we need to practice is to turn that object of meditation into ourselves. So it is us that is an object of meditation. It is not an idea. It is not a notion that will liberate us. But we have to focus on ourselves. We have to focus on ourselves and make ourselves into an object of meditation. That is the first step. That is the first step. So the Buddha developed this technique of coming back to ourselves, feeling ourselves deeply, to be fully aware of ourselves. We are an object of our meditation. That's the key, and that's the Buddha discovery. And then once we come back to ourselves, then what happens is that in order to embody this love into our being, there is a step that is our body and our mind. To focus on this idea of love and to sink it into our being day and night. How to sink it into our being? That is, we go to the door of our body and our mind. We feel love deeply within ourselves. Love is not only a concept, an idea. We have to embody it into ourselves. We feel deep love for ourselves. Then we can sink it down into our being. Otherwise, it's only a concept. It is only a concept. To focus on this idea of love, focus on this idea of love, and without embody it, without having an object of meditation as a body and our mind, then this could be only an intellectual exercise. So in order to make it sink into our being, the Buddha discovered that we have to go to here. And then it sink into our being. So there's no way to peace. Peace is the way. That means every action that we do, our body, our mind, the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we think, everything we focus on our being, our body and our mind, and we allowing this energy of love to penetrate, to be within us. Then it becomes a reality. We listen to one sound of the bell. when we listen to one sound of the bell, we learn to bring our awareness back. Look at this model from Mr. Tishinger. Many times when we grow up, then our awareness or our consciousness projected out. Things outside us become an object of our life, an object of our mind. For example, our fame, or power, or wealth. Many objects, recognition, possession, become an object of our mind. We put all of our energy on these objects outside of our body and our mind. And then so, with meditation, the Buddha invites us, instead of bringing our awareness outside, we turn our awareness back. We fold, like we reach out our hands. That is most of the time what we do with our awareness. We reach our hand out, we extend our arms, we extend our arm, and we grasp onto an object. For example, this pen. This pen is the fame, the power, the authority, the possession. We extend our arm, that is our awareness, and we grasp on this object. Now the Buddha invites us to practice that we fold our awareness back, like the arm, we fold back. We fold back like this. We fold the arm back, and this awareness fold back onto ourselves. And our body and our mind become an object of our attention all day long. Instead of the object out here, the pen, now we fold back, the awareness shine on our body and our mind. And our body and our mind become an object of our awareness, an object of our attention. This energy of folding back, the Buddha called it mindfulness. Mindfulness. This energy of folding back, you can think of it as like a sphere. In the meditation, I introduced to you the concept of a sphere of the energy of awareness. And we are sitting here at the center of the sphere. This little boy, this little girl at the center of this ball of energy of awareness. This sphere of energy of awareness is very useful image, because this sphere of energy of awareness can be mindfulness, and when it becomes stronger, then it can become collectedness. And then when we actually embody it, then it becomes wisdom. So this ball of energy, you can call it by different name. It's the ball of mindfulness, it's the ball of collectedness, or it's the ball of wisdom or insight. And wisdom or insight in Buddhism, there is a special name for it, prajna. Prajna. Prajna is wisdom or insight. That is the energy. That is the prajna. Prajna is the energy. And how far do we come in? What is the limit when we come deep inside us? There's no limit. There's no limit. The journey of coming home, the journey of going deep inside, there's no limit. The more we come inside, the more these layers will be bring to breakdown. The layer of the mask, the layer of fear, the layer of wounded, and this layer called love also being transformed. Because this love can be the love based on a core, based on a self. That means we only interest in loving ourselves. The journey of going out in Buddhism, this journey here, going out, is called the word of condition. So the journey coming out here, this is the word of condition. Condition. Hữu vi. It is the manifestation of all of the things connect to each other, different conditions. When we grow up, for example, we have an idea that we want to become a doctor, or we want to become an engineer, or we want to become a teacher, or we want just to being an ordinary man, a cleaning man or a cleaning woman, or doing a very simple job in the world. I don't have an idea of becoming someone high in the society. I feel working in the supermarket, pulling the trolley, I have enough money to live, that's enough. So depending on our idea that what we would like to become in life, then there are different conditions manifest together and connected, and we manifest is that. We have an idea to become, let's say, a teacher, and then different conditions slowly build it up. And then one day we become a teacher. We have a certificate, and we can go and teach. And that is the word of condition. That means all of the conditions play together, connect together for that to manifest. It's the word of phenomena. It's the word of manifestation. And this is the word of wonderful manifestation. Wonderful manifestation. Wonderful manifestation. If you really want to be something, sooner or later you will become that. If not this lifetime, some other lifetime. Yes. When you have that strong intention, then slowly, that strong intention will pull you into that direction, and one day for sure you will have it. For example, if you really want to become a king, yes, and you try to be a king, and you dream about it, and you live, and then this idea, this intention to become a king, this idea will begin to connect all of the conditions for a king to manifest. And not this lifetime, some other lifetime, when you work hard enough, then you become a king. If you can keep this intention of being a king long enough, for several lifetimes, then one day for sure you become a king. It's the word of manifestation. It's called wonderful manifestation. Whatever you like, you will be that. Believe it or not. Whatever you like. That is the power of our mind, the power of intention. Once we have that intention, then all of the karma from the past. If you really want to become a king, and all of the karma, whatever you've done toward being a kinghood, begin to connect, and you work a little bit more, you work a little bit more. And according to the Buddhist teaching, after some lifetime, enough merit, enough fruit of merit, then you will become that. And the same thing as a monk. To become a monk or to become a nun, it is another path of wonderful manifestation. It's not so extraordinary, different from being a doctor, being an engineer. It's just a job. Really. If you really want to become a monk or a nun, you want it, then one day you become monks and nuns. You have the form of a monk, you have the form of a nun. What is the difference between a monk and a nun compared to the ordinary people? We talk about that later, but whatever you like, and you will manifest into that. That is the word of condition, the word of manifestation, the word that you manifest outside. And our mind is like the one who perform magician, yeah. Our mind is like magician. Our mind is like magician. It will make us manifest into anything that we would like to be. So that's why the Buddha called it our mind is like a magician. And this is the word of condition. On the way of returning home, that is the word of letting go of all of the condition. The word of letting go of all condition. The word of non-condition. All of these difficult to express in word. Vovi. This is called vovi. That means no condition. No condition. If you can letting go a certain things, then you have less non-condition like that. When you become monks and nuns, what you really want to practice, you want to let go. What do you want to let go of? You want to let go of your fame. You want to let go of your power. You want to let go of your wealth, your recognition, possession, just like the people outside. You want to let go of that. But you save the head, you become a monk. You save the head, you have the form of a nun. It doesn't mean that you let go of all of these. You continue to hold on to the fame, to the power. You just have a different form. So you have not returned to the word. So when you return home, you go back deep inside, you learn to let go. You learn to be free from conditioning, from different conditions. And that is truly the task of a monk and a nun. What makes you a true monk and a true nun compared to other category is that you walk on this path of non-condition. You become nobody, absolute nobody. That's why you want to become monks and nuns. It's not that you want to become a famous monk or a famous nun or a famous Zen master that you become monks and nuns. To become monks and nuns is to walk on this path of returning to the core and learn to let go of all the conditions. You want to build up the word of non-condition within you. Vô vi. And depending how far you go deep within, you become different category. A different category of non-condition. Non-condition also have category. For example, let's say you letting go of your mask layer from the model of Mr. Michael teacher. You learn to be truthful to yourself. You learn to let go of the mask layer. You being very truthful to yourself. Then your non-condition is at this layer. You are very truthful. Whatever comes, you just say it. But your liberation is that much. You take away the mask. You want to be truthful. When you are angry, you say that I'm angry. When I'm fearful, I say I'm fearful. So you take away your mask. You express yourself fully, clearly, and truthfully. But that your liberation is at that much. Mm-hmm. But let's say if you go deeper into one layer, you can take away your fear, for example. Then you reach a level of non-condition like that. And the more you go deeper inside, then this idea of the self begin to be removed slowly and slowly. The problem that our world have right now, because this collectiveness, the collectiveness of learning to letting go, the willingness to get into the world of non-condition is very low nowadays. We all want to be manifest in the world of condition. We want to be somebody. We want to be somebody. We want to be someone, to be recognized. Even a spiritual leader, even a monk or a nun, we want to be recognized. We are trapped into this world of wonderful manifestation. We think this is the reality. This is the reality. And we are trapped into this world of condition. And in this world of condition, there is only way the idea of a separate self. And we will do everything to protect this self. And we do everything to benefit it. And we do everything to give it pleasure. When we learn to reach out, to love someone, we can remove a little bit of our word of condition. We touch the word of non-condition, the word of non-self, a little bit. But that is not enough. We need to go deeper into the word of non-condition. And we need to build up a culture of letting go. A culture of being nobody, being non-self. Then there's a chance for the world. Think about it. You have 8 billion people on earth now. And everyone define their own territory, define their own self, define their own word. The world will be a mess. Because nobody can talk to anybody else. We only want things to be our ways. Yesterday, Brother Trần Ngộ Khâm said that, if I understand it correctly, Sister Songin translate for me briefly, there's a couple, they was fighting with each other. After some time, a person among them said, well, you are completely right. And the other person was very surprised. They were fighting, arguing. And then this person suddenly stopped and completely recognized him or her. So he was very surprised and he asked, why? Why suddenly you give up? And the other person said, I give up so that I have some rule. Some relax. It's too tired to fight. Mm-hmm. We always want our own way. Individually, we live in this world. We want everything to be our own way. The way we arrange our breakfast, the way we cook our lunch, the way we take care of our bed, the way we want to clean our house. Anything that we do is our way. Mother, let me do it my way. Daughter, don't do it. Let me do it my way. We are trapped in this world of condition. The practice the Buddha discovered is that in order to solve the difficulty that the world goes through, we need to return to ourselves and to touch this word of non-condition. That means the word of letting go of ourselves. Learn to be selfless. Learn to be selfless. The more we can become selfless, the more our heart begin to open. And like I said, there's the degree to being non-conditioned. Selfless is only an idea. There's a degree of being selfless. There's a degree of being selfless. There are different degrees. It goes deeper and deeper to selflessness. In the example of Thầy Trần Ngộ Khâm, perhaps the couple was fighting over something trivial. But when they are fighting over something a bit more essential, I doubt that the other person will say, you are right. They will continue to fight until death. They will not be able to let go because they are fighting over some trivial matter. So there's a degree of being selflessness. Deeper and deeper. And this degree, we can practice and we can embody it. When we practice coming back to ourselves, the energy of awareness coming back to ourselves, embrace ourselves with the energy of awareness. Feel ourselves completely. And anything that's coming up within us, we learn to allow this energy to be melted into this sphere of awareness. then we begin to enter into the world of non-condition. For example, someone says something and make us very angry. And if we practice all the time, and we feel that there's this sphere of awareness, this sphere of awareness embracing us, and this energy of anger coming up into this sphere of awareness. When we just begin to practice, then this sphere of awareness is very thin. There's no substance inside this sphere. There's no substance. But the more we practice, this sphere begin to be filled up with the energy. This energy is called collectedness. At the beginning, the sphere is empty. So that is only mindfulness. Simple mindfulness. You are aware that you are angry. But there's no strength for you to transform this anger. But the more you practice, this sphere of energy become thicker and thicker. At the beginning, it's like a balloon of air. But the more you practice, this sphere of awareness becomes a diamond. It becomes solid like a diamond. The energy of anger coming up within is not able to move the diamond. Our mind is like a diamond. The energy of the sphere becomes stronger and stronger, and our mind becomes more stable and more stable. Our mind becomes solid like a diamond. And that is the meaning of the Diamond Sutra. There is a diamond within us. And the anger coming in manifests. And this sphere of energy of awareness, when you practice long enough, it becomes the sphere of energy of collectedness. It embraces the energy of anger. And it melts it right away. Resolve it. And if you continue to practice this, then all of this energy that want to manifest into the world condition, slowly being absorbed, slowly being transformed. And if one person try to do this, two persons try to do this, and the whole world try to do this, then we have hope. Then we really have hope. Otherwise, the human family will come to an end very soon, because we cannot talk to each other. We cannot listen to each other. And we only want to solve the problem in our own way. We cannot have a collective wisdom, a collective insight into solving a big scale problem. Unless we touch this word of non-condition, we cannot accept the other person's idea. We cannot accept the other person's insight and wisdom. And it's possible to cultivate this energy. And I have to admit that it takes a long time. It takes a long time. And it's not easy. It needs a lot of commitment, determination. Imagine that the energy of anger coming up, and you are sitting like a mountain, you don't move. Try it, and you see that it's very difficult. When the energy of anger comes up, you want to act right away. Out with your body, out with your mind, out with your word. At the beginning of his career as a peace activist, our teacher Thai, he joined the peace movement, and he slowly realized something very important, that many peace activists cannot touch peace within them. They want to act out, they want to call for peace, but it doesn't come from the domain of peace. It comes from the domain of anger, of hatred, of discrimination. It comes from the same kind of energy, like the energy of non-peace, the people who practice non-peace. And they realize that it is so important for us to build a culture of peace on this earth, in this world. So then Thầy begin to change his direction, and his commitment is to help people to practice so that people can actually be in peace. Be in peace instead of being a peace activist, but be in peace. To be ourselves a peace, an embodiment of peace. And that is, it becomes Thai's life work. Thai's life work. And among the situation now with the war in Ukraine, with all of the difficulty, the brother and sister in EIAB, we decided we will build a meditation to honor Thai. We want to build this meditation hall in 2018, when EIAB is 10 years old. Sister Chang Kham was here and we announced it, we will build it. But since then until now, there are so many requirements for different renovation here in EIAB. In order to build a meditation hall here, we need to renovate the second and the third part of this building. We divide this building into 5 parts, from the top all the way down to the basement. 5 parts, 5 sections. We were able to renovate the first section and the ground floor up until 2012. And then after we have the dining hall in 2017, we would like to build this meditation hall in 2018. We bring the application to the authority. They said that if we want to build that meditation hall, we need to renovate the second and the third part. So finally, this year, among all of the difficulty, we said we want to build this hall. It's called the Great Hall of Peace. Thích Nhất Hạnh, Zen Master Thích Nhất Hạnh, Great Hall of Peace. It is a symbol in which we need to practice being peace. In this new Great Hall of Peace, we don't talk about peace. We go inside and we practice being peace. We don't have a conference about peace in this hall, for sure. We only have the peace work, the peace embodiment. This hall will be a place for us to come in and to touch the peace within us, to be peace within us. That is the purpose of the hall. And this hall will have 2 levels. The upper level is called the Avatamsaka Buddha Hall. Avatamsaka is the teaching, the very deep teaching of Buddhism, the teaching of one is in all and all is in one. When we go deep inside, like I said, there's different level of being selfless. There's different level of selflessness. And when you go very deep inside, very deep inside, you touch a level called true emptiness. True emptiness. At this level, you will see that one contains all, and all contain one. I do not have time to develop this concept, but in the other course, during this past year in 2022, Awakening the Buddha Nature Within Us, or the Bodhisattva Path, or the Diamond Sutra, we have more time to talk about it. But at this level, going all the way inside, you will see that everything in this world is the manifestation of oneness. There is a oneness. And that is the word of Avatamsaka, flower adornment. It's the word of oneness. When we go all the way deep inside, you will see that at that ground level, we are all one. We are deeply connected to the one that we love deeply. But we also connect to the one who causes us a lot of pain and sorrow. Believe it or not, I and Mr. Budding have the same ground of existence. All is in one, and one is in all. I am in Mr. Budding, and Mr. Budding is in me. And that is the word of Avatamsaka. And there's no way to fight Mr. Budding. The only energy that can transform Mr. Budding is the energy of love. There is only love that can face the hatred in man. No other energy. And this energy of deep love comes from the realization that we are all one. We are deeply connected to each other. We are deeply connected to each other. The difficulty of Russia and Ukraine is the difficulty of all of the nation. And all of the nation has to come and to help to resolve it. But again, people are taken away by fame, by power, by wealth. They only think about their own need. They only think about their own interest. And they're willing to sacrifice other people's life for their own interest. But to face this ugliness, to face this cruelty within man, the only thing that we can do is love. Because if we act otherwise, we will be at the other extreme of the polarity. That's all. It is a very difficult fact to accept. But we have to accept that we have to love even our enemy. And that's the teaching. And so at the top is Avatamsaka Buddha Hall. We go into that hall and we learn to touch this level of insight. And then the lower floor is the Saddharma Bundarika Dharma Hall. That is the lotus flower Dharma Hall. Saddharma Bundarika. From this, all is contain one, and one contain all. From this, there come this Bodhisattva vow, the deep Bodhisattva vow. And that is the embodiment of the Lotus Sutra. In the Lotus Sutra, each one of us, we learn to become a wonderful manifestation of a white lotus flower. That means we want to turn our life into a life of a great bodhisattva. We go into the Word and we remind people of their Buddha nature. When you have a difficulty with someone in your family, you might practice the practice of bodhisattva called non-disparaging. That means the bodhisattva who always respects the other person. Let's say your partner says something unkind to you. You join to that, to him or to her, and you say, I bow to you deeply, my beloved one. You are truly a Buddha. You don't know in the depth of your nature, you are truly a Buddha. I bow to you. So your partner was angry, was frustrating, and he or she explode. And if you can, have this container, this ball of energy embrace you, so that the energy of anger does not come out, you have enough solidity and you join the palm, and you bow to him or to her. You said that, my dear one, you are truly a Buddha. And that is a reminder of him or her, so that he or she can stop, look back into himself or herself, and to touch the domain of Buddha within him or her. And that is the Lotus Sutra. That is the Lotus Sutra, the practice of the Lotus Sutra. So from Avatamsaka is the domain of all contain one and one contain all. You go down and you become a bodhisattva. You live both of the dimensions, the historical dimension and the ultimate dimension. You embody both dimensions. You become a bodhisattva. That means one of your feet is in the ultimate dimension, and the other feet, you go into the world, the historical dimension, and you remind people. And you practice to help the world. So that's what we will have. Hopefully in few years you come and you can come into the hall and practice being peace. Being the Avatamsaka, in the word of the Avatamsaka Sutra, or being in the word of Lotus Sutra. Mm-hmm. That is the only way out. Tonight, we will remind ourselves this practice. Last year, we were contemplating about the world, the condition of the world. And we wrote a mindfulness for peace on earth. And we read it last year at the New Year Eve. And we didn't know that in February 24, Russia made the campaign to invade Ukraine. New Year Eve last year, we already make up this mindfulness for peace on earth. And tonight, we will read this as a reminder for us to practice. I would like to read it for us here, for us to contemplate before we end the Dharma talk today. Perhaps we can listen to one sound the bell before we read this. is the prayer that we will read tonight. Every year, in the New Year Eve, we as a community, we make a certain commitment for our practice in the form of a prayer to our ancestors. New Year's prayer 2023 for peace on earth. Dear beloved Thầy, dear beloved ancestors, dear beloved Mother Earth, we have gathered as a fourfold Sangha in this solemn moment of the New Year 2023 to express our gratitude as an aspiration as a spiritual family and to begin anew. We know that you, our ancestors, are present in this very moment and that you are always there for us to take refuge in. As we touch the earth tonight, we feel deeply connected to all of you. Beloved Thầy, many times in the past, we have allowed uncertainty to water the sea of insecurity and fear in our hearts. We have hesitated to take refuge in the path, and we have doubted our family and community. We have not been wholehearted in our practice. We have let our strong emotion and wrong perceptions overwhelm us, giving rise to feeling of helplessness, separation, and despair. Aware of this, we want to begin anew and to remind ourselves of our commitment to practice wholeheartedly, to take refuge in our beloved community, and to be a continuation of Thầy and all our spiritual ancestors. We aspire to live more deeply by cultivating our mindful breathing and walking in our daily activities, which we know are your favorite practices. We also know that you love building Sangha, and we vow to continue your work of building brotherhood and sisterhood with all our heart, even though at times it may seem challenging. We aspire to listen deeply and to help one another, never forsaking anyone, even those who cause us to suffer. Dear beloved ancestor, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been great suffering during the last years. And especially in February this year, there was invasion of Ukraine from Russia, as well as many other war in the world. And that caused so much suffering for all of us. Contemplating deeply into its nature and following the spirit of the Buddha insight into the noble truth of suffering, we aspire to practice the following mindfulness training for peace on earth. Aware of the suffering caused by the potential for our human family to destroy itself, and through unmindful or reckless actions, extinguish all life on earth, we are determined to nurture a culture of honoring the sacred web of life that sustains us. That is the insight of the Avatamsaka Sutra. This we shall do by committing collectively to practicing mindfulness and leading lives of non-violence and peace based on our insight into the interconnectedness, interdependency, and interbeing of all forms of life on earth. We saw practice collectively as well as individually in ways that stop all acts and behaviors contributing to the destruction of our human family, other species, and our planet. These destructive actions include the development and production of arms such as nuclear and biochemical weapons, and advanced technology for waging war in cyberspace and space. The destructive actions we seek to end also include the misuse of social media and other media to manipulate human minds and emotions in ways that generate confusion, mistrust, anger, hatred, and violence within our human family, and cruelty to other species. We saw channel humanity's collective energy, material wealth, and spiritual resources towards positive, wholesome actions that help people learn about, understand, and trust each other, that nourish our existence as one human family among many species, and that protect our sacred Mother Earth. With openness and humility, we shall learn to embrace each other culturally, politically, socially, and equitably. We shall respect diversity of ethnicity, gender, age, and religious or other beliefs, so we may build and nurture on earth a human family that is at peace with itself, with all living beings, and with the planet. As we touch the earth, we express our gratitude to you, our beloved teacher Thầy, to our ancestors, and to Mother Earth. We have found a path of practice and a spiritual family to take refuge in. We have experienced joy, peace, and transformation. We have tasted the freedom of letting go of our ideas and notions. We have felt the strength and warmth of brotherhood and sisterhood. And we know that together we can face our challenges and realize our aspiration. We vow in this solemn moment to continue to build our family, our community, and to open up the path for ourselves and our descendants. Dear Thầy, dear ancestor, dear Mother Earth, please accept our offerings of incense, flowers, fruit, and tea as a sign of our deep aspiration, respect, gratitude, and love. And this is the prayer that we will offer to our ancestors tonight. And it will be the light that helps us to practice in 2023, so that we can learn to touch the realm or the word of Avatamsaka, and to turn ourselves into a bodhisattva of the Lotus Sutra, and to help the world. In March, the end of March, the beginning of April this year, we sent a part of this prayer, the mindfulness for peace on earth, to Mr. Zelensky and to President Putin, with a personal letter, a private letter, to request them to reconsider the war in Ukraine and to try everything possible so that the war can stop. We sent it to the embassy of Ukraine and the Russian embassy, along with a DVD of Thay's life, A Cloud Never Dies, to remind them of the painful experience of the war in Vietnam. The earlier the war in Ukraine can stop, the better it will be for the Russian people, for the Ukrainian, and for the whole world. Everyone become a victim of this war. Like I said the other day, this year, EIB will face difficulty. Last year, we only opened from July to December. And just for that period, for the gas and electricity, EIB has to pay 150,000 euro. And late August, we are forced to sign a contract with the gas company and electricity company because the price keeps climbing, rising in the summer. And everyone, even including our lawyer, they said that we need to sign a contract right away. Otherwise, at the winter, we might not have gas or next year. And the price that we signed for that contract is triple the price that we have last year. What it means is that 2023, EIAB has to pay at least 450,000 euro a year for gas and electricity. That is incredible. And we send it to some of our friends who help us to calculate it, to make sure that it's the right number. And everyone was very shocked. And like I shared yesterday in our Dharma sharing, our community was discussing, we don't know whether we should have the retreat, celebrating life, or not. But then finally, the community, we agree that we open up to support everyone for your practice. Even though that we all go through difficulty. I know that at home, you have a lot of difficulty also with your job, with the escalation in the price of living cost, and so many things. And you may also make an effort to come to practice being peace. So we help each other, we support each other on this path. It's 2022 had been a very difficult year. And we hope that the international community will come together and to support Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Putin in their peace conciliation. We hope and we pray for that. This needs the work, this needs the energy of everyone. It has to be a collective work. Whatever we can do in our own capacity, we need to speak out, to voice out this need. As a monk, in my own limited capacity, many in my Dharma talk, I keep bringing this issue up to bring the awareness and invite everyone to look deeply into it and to help. And the key is that we need to go deep inside, to touch the domain of non-condition, and to allow the energy of love, deep love, to be born in our heart. That is the only way out. To blame any side will not be very helpful. We need to do something positive. And that positivity can only come from the insight of true emptiness, the insight of wonderful manifestation, and the insight of true love. So with that, I wish you, your family, your community, your country, if you come from Ukraine, a peaceful year, 2023. And hopefully we have a way out.